All my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me. You niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. You niggas ain't built like that. You was never on the block, you ain't never dodge a knock. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You ain't swam with the sharks, you ain't wrestled with the gators. You was never fucking popping, you ain't got no fucking haters. Bitch niggas like you make me watch out for the traitors. When you round some real niggas, mind your behavior. I will beat a nigga ass, then I'm laughing like I'm Jada. Get your fucking mind blown like a cartridge on a Sega. You niggas want attention, they don't want the war though. Talking all that shit, but you got a glass jaw. Hope they never deliver. They got that DiGiorno. This that Walking Dead flow. I eat a rapper torso. You ain't the same man once you off the microphone. You ain't never broke a bone. You ain't never had a scar. You a certified pussy, so don't make me pull your card. I'm a certified prophet, respected like the word of God. Cause you ain't got the heart, nigga. You ain't got the heart. You ain't about to finish any beef that you start. You ain't never been a soldier, little nigga. Play your part. Claiming that you'll spark when you ain't got the heart. Cause you niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. All my niggas ride for me. All my niggas ride with me. I got niggas that'll die for me. All my niggas ride with me. You niggas ain't. Yo, I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
American KKK, land of the good smokers, home of the slaves. And I'm just trying to be great. Tell me, how can I live with this drama every day? I'm a light, I'm a beam in this darkness. It seems that real life is a nightmare. Cannot live my dreams on this earth. Since I was young, I realized I had a destiny bigger than the fiction that disguises what was best for me. Better than the hate and all the lies that be the death of me. As of late, since we've been hypnotized since elementary. Thought it was my skin, but studied something that was new to me. They hate me because of what my ancient ancestors used to be. Healers, teachers, deities, not all of them were kings and queens. Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All the roots connected, always want to learn the that you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better before you hit your bed. Stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down. They don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord. Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live, Lord? Tell me, can I live? I know that hate is deeper than the color of my skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know that hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yeah.
Can I live?
They say my rhymes cause too much excitement, ride incitement, shit. Well, there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded. So we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way, low nigga. I ain't taking shit from no tars. And ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from march and begging for portions. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big payback. You crackers got red in your margins. Why? They broke every tree, slaughtered the buffalo, and then they set fire to teepees. They carved their face in mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis at Tuskegee. We been getting robbed, yeah, we're the ones who stay behind bars. They take all our money, but they ain't wanna give us no jobs. Wasn't supposed to make it, but we stayed defying the odds. It's like we really only living off the grace of our God. Can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed in my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? Yo, can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they ain't wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
One West is to raise, son. That's where I came from. That is my A1s. I'm talking day one. Rest of these niggas out here is just fake, son. Look, you can hate, son. You cannot take, son. I've been in every hood out of my state, son. Out in these streets, I'm steady blazing. Looking to cut a nigga like I'm Jason. I am the one. This is the Masons. Going so hard that they think I'm an agent. Going so hard that they said I'm a Mason. These are the facts, though. I'm just amazing. There is no other way that I can stay them. I earn my spot, it'll never be vacant. These niggas lazy. They got complacent. They wanna level these fucking Caucasians. How the fuck we gonna rebuild our nation? You niggas feminine. Go get some makeup. Sorry, but my love is only for Jacob. We had some hard days. We learned some hard ways. Always. Just know that I pray that we get it out the dust. Only thing that I trust, knowing that my niggas gon' bust. It's coming up the rush, thinking that you won't get touched. Fuck when my brother get crushed, been through too much. Always come through in the clutch. Nigga just do what it does. Fuck you thought shit was. Nigga, it wasn't. Know that I do this for dozen. Always kept it 100. Niggas know I never stunning. And I keep shit running, even on the days when the pain keep coming, or a nigga fucked up and he feel like numbing. Show goes on, I just keep on drumming my fate. Even on the days I wanna break, saying how much could I take, still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake, Even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake. Some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break. Some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
Dark days, no night vision. That's why my heart is a cave and there's ice in it. Don't even trust niggas no more. Lord is my witness. Me and these niggas ain't the same. It's a slight difference. Thought a nigga had my back, now it's a knife in it. But now I'm back at the back like it's the ninth inning. Still got the backpack packed in the back of the camp van. Taking any given chance to blaze on the white man. Son of Benjamin, born on the right hand. Never losing grip. I understand who I am. Met a man that showed me the right path. Now I'm rooted in the truth. To rule is my plan. And I can never lose sight like an exam. Sharp as iron, I was forged by fire, man. In the circle of life, how could I tell you, man? I was undesired, had no one. And then I met these men and it changed how I'm living. Their words was convicting, called that a life sentence. Now I need a witness, but no, I'm not Christian. My faith in these scriptures, man, not no religion, man. It's like Tazab and I'm with my brother Katazai. Man, you niggas too sweet like baklava. Niggas better not make a nigga bring them choppers out. Better pray for your health like the doctors out. Just be faithful. One day you'll be thankful. Wonder why they hate. Luckily I got angels. I'm so thankful. Yes, I'm so thankful. Used to be ashamed, and even before I think,
still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break. Saying how much could I take? Still kept my faith. Even when these niggas act fake. Even when it came like a snake, still kept my faith. Some days I ain't even wanna wake. Some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith. Even on the days I wanna break. Some days that my heart had aches, still kept my faith.
There go this.
All right. So we had no audio on the stream, right? So I hope it was rectified, right? The mic here saying on, right? So that here, Officer Shaw. Here, Officer Shaw. Right. I believe the audio should be on, right? So we'll just go over, right, a little bit in the first part, right? Just as I was saying in the beginning, right? This is the ISUPK out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander Jaliana. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969, that the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, right? We belong to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, right? And before we get into the class, we'll just run back over the class times, right? On a Monday night, which is tonight, the class is usually from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., right? We started a little bit late tonight, right? But the class usually starts from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on a Tuesday. The class also is from 7 p.m. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. both Monday and Tuesday, right? On a Wednesday, right? We stream straight out of Washington, D.C., right? With Captain Mashak Mayam, right? And that class is from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Trinidad time, right? So you can tune into these classes, right, and stay up to date with what is going on in the ISUPK under Command in Jayahana, right? On a Thursday, we also have a radio show, right? The radio show is from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., right? For 1 hour. It's a highly interactive show. That show is usually done by priest and officer Soapiala or priest and officer Makoyak, right? From time to time, you may see other brothers on the show as well, right? It's a highly interactive show, and the show also they also invite brothers from the different Caribbean islands and from the school and also from the UK and the Americas as well, right? So you will find brothers being on the show internationally as well, right? So the ISUPK under Command in Jayahana, right? Teaches that the so-called black man, Hispanic man, and the Native Indian man, that we are the true Jews according to the Bible, right? And also on a Saturday, we have the Sabbath service, right? Which runs from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? This is conducted by Christian Officer Card, right? So you can always tune in online, or if you want to come to the physical classes, right? For the Sabbath service, you can, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you can come to the physical Sabbath service, right? And be a part of the service here as well, right? To keep the Sabbath with your brothers and sisters, right? All right, so without further ado, we're going to get straight into the class, right? The class tonight is when your oppressors rule, your life will be worth nothing to them, right? And just as we were saying a little bit before, right? The things that we see in Trinidad and Tobago today, right? The chaotic state, right, that Trinidad and Tobago finds itself in today is because of the leaders, right? Both political and religious leaders of this time, right? Because these heathens are in rule, you find that Trinidad and Tobago society has become very chaotic, right? You find very strange events happening on a daily basis. And every day is something outrageous happening, right? And that is the Lord moving upon the face of the earth, right? And upon these heathens, right? A lot of destruction taking place here in Trinidad and Tobago, right? And when you look at the news over the past weekend gone, right, you would see that a lot of things happen, right? We had a policewoman, WPC, right? A woman corporal, right? Getting killed, right? Inside the municipal police station, right? She was strangled to death, right? After they got the autopsy results, right? And 62 guns was stolen from the police station as well, right? So they left with the arms and ammunition, right? And a short while before we came to class, right, they started to arrest some people, and I believe they recovered some of the guns, right? But it caused a lot of chaos and drama, and a lot of people started to question their safety, right? Because now they're realizing that the incident at the police station was an inside job, understand? So a lot of members of society start to question their safety and wondering when they thought that the police would have saved them from calamity, they realized that the police can even save themselves, understand? Because they, right, are battling amongst one another and even killing their own colleagues, right? And it's showing you that the sad state that society has reached into today, right? Because the society has become lawless, right? And because we never listen to the instruction of the Lord, we tend to have a lot of hidden oppressors ruling over the land. Understand? And that's why these type of things would happen, right? So it had that incident. It also had we had 4 people being shot, right, on the Ladium Road, right, up north, right, and this included a child. Right? A child was also shot and killed in that incident, right, and also 4 people also got murdered, right, and all that while all that was going on over the weekend, right, it was discovered that 50 babies and 6 adults, right, were being buried in a cemetery in Komoto, which is a part in Trinidad, right, in a shallow grave, right, and the authorities got word on it, and when they investigated, it was so true, right, that these 50 babies were already deceased, right, and 6 adults they were already deceased, right, and they were being illegally dispatched, right, in a shallow grave in a cemetery here in Trinidad and Tobago. So it's showing how the society has become very chaotic, and all this, right, as I'm talking and speaking about this, is happening under state of emergency, right? This is our 3rd state of emergency back to back, understand, right? To show you how chaotic this society has become since these heathens took office, right? Really, ISAP under command in China, right? We have no affiliation with politics, but when these things happen, understand, we have to speak about it, right? To make the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man understand what is taking place in this society. Understand? So if you could, Officer Shah, you could give me Ecclesiastes 4 and verse 1. You can start there. Right? We have to understand that when these oppressors don't care about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man's life, our life is nothing to them. You understand? Right? They view us as statistics on a sheet. You understand? Right? And we have to wake up and understand who these oppressors are. You understand? Who these people are. Right? The scriptures say they are confederate against you, black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. They form a group against you, black man. You understand? Right? They put systems in place, understand, to ensure that you, black man, live and remain in a hellish condition. Right? Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 1, Baba Kusha. Yeah, it's on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 1. So I returned and considered all the oppression.
Right, and this is King Solomon, and he says, so I returned and considered all the oppressions. When you look at all the things, the different oppressions that happen to man, right? Go ahead.
That are done under the sun.
Right? With all these different type of calamities and oppression that happen to the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, it is done under the sun, right? And under when you say under the sun is the earth, right? And you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, all these oppressions are happening to us on the earth, right? Because just like in Deuteronomy 28, we chose not to adhere to the laws, statutes, and commandments. So now we are an oppressed people, right? Go ahead.
And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed.
Right? And behold, you understand, the tears were such as were oppressed. You understand? We keep calling, Understand? Where the Lord, how this could happen. Understand? Right? Why are going through this? Understand? Right? Mothers crying for the son, fathers crying for the daughter. Understand? Right? Just as going on before, a woman shot to death. Understand? As she entered her home, right? Men were waiting inside there and shot her to death on she doorstep. Understand? So you're not even safe in your own house. Understand? That is where society has reached. Understand? Right? We are an oppressed people. You have the nurses that have come out and protest for the wages that they already work for. Understand? We are oppressed. Understand? Right? They're complaining that one nurse seen about almost 30-something patients. Understand? Right now, people have become afraid that they don't want to get sick. Understand? Because just to go to the hospital, a place that supposed to take care of you, understand, and make and revive you and bring you back to health, people scared to go because the conditions have become very bad. Understand? Right? One nurse to 30-something patient, you don't know that pressure. Understand? By the time she comes to give you your medication, you're dead. Understand? Because she has so much work or so much people to see about. And that is where all society has become. Well,
And they had no comforter.
and they had what?
And they had no comforter.
They had no comforter. Understand? You black man, Hispanic man, and Indian man, we have no comforter. You know why? Because we stuck inside the Christian church. Understand? We stuck in the Muslim mosque. Understand? We stuck in Egyptology and whatever new modern church they bring. Understand? We stuck in these places, and these people do not care for us. Understand? These oppressors do not care for us. Understand? Right? And even those that may look like our people, right? In their mind has become the mind of the oppressor. Understand? They have picked up the task of oppressing the own people. Understand? Right? They make it their job. Understand? Every day to come and oppress the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, the own people. Understand? Because their mind, they have picked up the spirit of the so-called oppressor. Continue, Baba Kusha.
And on the side of the oppressors, there was power.
Right? And on the side of the oppressors, right, was power. Understand? When you look at the oppressors, they are the ones who are in leadership. Look around in Trinidad today. Understand? Right? We had a hidden government, understand, taking office, and as soon as the hidden government take office, all the state board change. Understand? They make sure and put all the people in so-called strategic positions and all state boards in Trinidad. Now the whole place in calamity. Understand? Right? The commissioner, a police, he don't know he had from before. Understand? Right? It's just chaos and confusion. Understand? Yeah, the minister defense going one way, the minister homeland security going the next way, and so it keep going. Understand? Because it's just chaos and destruction all over the place. You understand? They have complaints from all state boards. Just recently, I was looking at an article, right? They have 200,000 applications for housing in Trinidad. People are applying for housing, right? And they have this area where they build government housing, right? I think it was either 200 or 190 homes that was already built, right? And they gave it a hidden contractor, and the contractor did such a poor work that all the homes that were built that is destroyed, right? And that is spent, right, $4 billion to destroy the homes, right? So the spend, right? I'm telling you, right? Right? They spend, so Slovakia, they spend $4 billion to build the project, and that is spend $4 million to demolish the homes. You understand? Right? So that 4.4 4 billion, right? 4 million that will come and spend now to break down all these homes that are built. You understand? And you have 200,000 people waiting for homes. Craziness. You understand? So all that money just going up and waste. Go ahead, Tasha.
Like I said, better than just pay the people the money and let them build the house.
Exactly. You understand? And we say it's so true. Better than just get each person the money for the cost to build a home and you source your builder and construct a home. Or now, they would have almost 200,000 homes done built. You understand? That is how sad it is. You understand? And the contractor going with all the money because he has no clause in the contract and the contract says, right? Because he said he finished the house. Understand? But the house, but the quality of the housing was so poor, right? That it couldn't hold the weight. So when people move in and they put in their stove and their wardrobe and their big bed and things, it couldn't support the weight. You understand? The mixture of the concrete was poor. The structural integrity of the building was poor. And that had to demolish it. Right? And now we had to spend money. You understand? Up in the millions to demolish it. You understand? That is how crazy, right? This place has become, and that is why the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, that is why we go press. You understand? Because our oppressors on their side, they were power. On their side, they were the people in rulership. You understand? And when they are in rulership, expect, understand? Don't expect them to have any words for your life. Understand? To them, you is just a statistic in Trinidad and Tobago. Understand? Continue, Baba Kasha.
But they had no comforter.
Right? And that's right. Understand? And that's the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. We when in the Christian church, the Muslim mosque, right? Egyptology, Rastafarianism, and all these things, they will have no comforter. Understand? Nobody would be there to give you any redress. Understand? Because we choose to follow the ways of the oppressor. Right? And how we choose to follow the ways of the oppressor, you might say, well, I know oppress. Yeah, you understand? You're oppressed because you're following the mindset of Christianity. You understand? You're following the mindset of white supremacy. You understand? And that is why every day you will always have this invisible barrier. Understand? Over your head. Understand? Your children will continue to struggle in society. Understand? Because we, Black people, the Bible said, given Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Understand? The Bible told us, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people to do something. Understand? Right? And we have to follow that instruction. We have to make these changes if we want us, our lives to be released from the hands of the oppressor. Right? Give me Zephaniah chapter 2 and 1, Bible question.
Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Gather what?
Gather yourselves together.
That's right. You Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, we were supposed to do what? Gather ourselves together. Right? And we just not grouping up, right? And forming all different type of group all over the place. Understand? This is the place, the ISCPK under command and Jenny hand. We were supposed to come back and keep the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord commanded us to keep. Understand? We were supposed to gather ourselves together and forget all the Easter and Valentine's Day and Halloween and Christmas and all these things. Right? Those are pagan holidays. Look up the history behind all these holidays. Right? You would find the pagan origin. This is not something that they're hiding. It's there. You could Google it. Understand? You could find books on it. Understand? You could find literal history. Understand? Right? To back all these claims. Understand? All these days came from pagan or pagan oppressors and came down to generation upon generation. That is why we still oppressed today, because we're not considering the things that the Lord told us to do. Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Understand? And our leaders, right? Give me Jeremiah chapter 2. No, chapter 10 and verse 1 by push-up. Right? Our oppressors, right, will continue to oppress us, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Right? If we don't change ourselves, right, or if we don't change our ways, right, to conform to what the Most High is telling us, right? Yes, sir. What are the Jeremiah? 10 and 1? Give me 14 and 2, Baba Kush. Jeremiah 14 and 2. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 14 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah concerning.
So this was the word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah. Go ahead.
Concerning the dart.
Right? Concerning that is the good. Right? And this came to Jeremiah from the Lord. This was concerning the earth. Go ahead.
Verse 2. Judah mourneth.
What?
Judah mourneth.
Judah is the head tribe of Israel. You understand? Right? The blacks in America predominantly is from the tribe of Judah. Right? So the head tribe of the nation of the biblical Israelites. And it says Judah is in mourning. The Jews are in mourning. Black people are in mourning. That's what it's saying. Right? Look around today, they're all in Trinidad. Black people are in mourning today. You understand? They're regretting the decision. They can't understand what is happening in this society. Black people is in mourning today. When you look around and see police getting killed in the station, people getting gunned down on the roadside, they're still protesting for the salary, teachers protesting for the salary. We understated back-to-back state of emergency, 3 state of emergency back-to-back. And that's where I come from, right? When you're looking for safety and security, the Homeland Security Minister, he can't guarantee it. Understand? Because men and women getting killed left, right, and center. Day after day, you have police, even the police committing suicide. You understand? Right? You have a military man committing suicide. A police committing suicide within the last month, and a businessman committing suicide within the last month to show you how terrible the society is. Right? And the month before that, and next police commit suicide, that was the one from down Caesar. You understand where I come from? Right? So it's showing you how oppressive the society has become, right? So it said Judah mourning, the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, we are the ones in mourning. Go ahead.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof language.
The gates, they are what?
Language.
That's right. And the gates is our leaders. Understand? All the people that's supposed to stand up for the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, right? They are languishing. They are weak. Understand? They have no power in the society. You understand? Look how many of our people are within this government framework. How much of them could speak on behalf of black people? You understand where I come from? How much of them could come out and say, this is what we want for black people? None of them. None of them have a voice for the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. You understand? All the hidden nations calling me by all different type of names. Understand? And derogatory things. The saying about black people. Right? And we have black men and women within the governmental structure, and none of them could stand up and say, hey, this is what we want for black people. Understand? Right? Well, how much of them coming down in the ghetto? Understand? To see what's really going on with black people. Understand? To see the condition people living in. Understand? Well, look at library. Understand? And point 14 and places like Lavantil and beat them. How much are the MPs you're seeing? Understand? Coming out and saying, all right, with the youth, so all who unemployed, let me try to get some work or some type of employment for them. Nothing. You understand? They walk the street, the campaign for your vote, and they trick us. You understand? We run out and vote. And thinking that voting will help you. And when we vote, nothing change. You understand? They even campaign on the slogan. The slogan was when we go win or something like that. That was the slogan. And now they realize nobody winning. You understand? Them winning. But black people ain't winning. You understand? Black people remain on the bottom of society. You understand? We status quo in change. You understand? Right? And even they're trying to pound the public service heavy because of the opinion that is where most black people have jobs. You understand? Because black people carry the weight of society. Right? Every civilization, right, that have enslavement in the society of black people, we carry that civilization with the work. We put the work on the back, right? All them teachers and like they like to say, they have all the doctors and lawyers and things. We don't understand. Black people, you see all the nurses and the majority of teachers and the people working in the public service, like PTSD, public transport, and all them government black people. all them who doing payroll and all them things is black people. Making sure that each and every individual who coming through the governmental system and all them pension check out all that pension, that is black people heavily. You understand? And that's why they try to disrupt the public service in Trinidad. Right? All them corporations and all them things. That's why they just do that. You understand? Right? They significantly underfund many of the corporations in the black communities in Trinidad. That was plain to see. The numbers could tell you and show it until the corporation had to say, well, hey, the money is so small, just now we can't pay people. You understand? And that is when the oppressor ruling. That is how you know the oppressors in charge. That is when you know the heathens in charge. They are the oppressors. They are the ones who bring in that hard life. Understand? Upon the black Hispanic and Native Indian man, while they continue to live lavishly. Understand? In all this chaos that is going on in the country, right? That was the end of 14 and 2. They give me Proverbs chapter 28. And if I give me from verse 1. And they have it, they could do it.
Proverbs chapter 28 and 1.
Right? No, sorry, jump down to verse 3.
Proverbs 28 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
A poor man who presses poor is like a sweeping rain which leaveth no food.
Right? It's like a sweeping rain that leaveth no food. You understand where I come from? Right? And many times in society, that's where the heathen try to lead the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man to do. Right? For us to try to do what? Oppress one another. You understand? Right? We black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, we had to wake up and realize we is the poor in the society. You understand? We not supposed to oppress one another. Just as the scripture we read before, we supposed to be the ones gathering ourselves together. We're supposed to be the ones separating ourselves from all these heathen nations. You understand? Right? We not supposed to be fighting on one another for what? Penals? Scrums at the bottom of the table. That's what they want me to do. That is what they want me to complain and fight one another. But we have to understand that that is not what the Lord has for us. Understand? Right? Don't make Christianity, understand? Make you hate your brother, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Understand? Don't make Egyptology and Islam make you hate your brother. Understand? Right? Use Islam, use Christianity, and next one is Rasta. Understand? But all belong to the same nation. All black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man belong to the same people, the chosen people of the Lord. Right? Just as it says in Deuteronomy 7 and 6. The Lord said, you are a chosen people, a special people unto him. Right? We're not supposed to be oppressing one another, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Right? Drop to verse 6, Baba Kusha.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness.
Right? Better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness. You understand where I come from? Right? It's better you be upright, man. Go ahead.
That he that is perverse in his ways, though he be rich.
That's right. You understand? Though you see them rich rich, you better. You understand? The poor is better. It don't mean you can't have money. You understand? It don't mean that you shouldn't buy a nice house or a nice car. You understand? Even if you have money or you buy a nice house and a car, you is still the poor. The reason why the black people is still the poor, the reason why Hispanic people is still the poor, the reason why Native Indian people is still the poor, even if one of us get rich, our nation remains in the bottom. Understand? So even if 1 man, 10 men, 50 people get super rich, your nation remains in the bottom. We are not bargaining power. Understand? On a global scale or even on governmental scale in Trinidad. Understand? Where is the Black Man Business Association? You understand? Right? Who lobbying for the black man in parliament? You understand? That is why we remain the poor. The poor is you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Understand? So not because you have a nice house or a nice car, you feel you make it. No, you're still poor because you're a nation in the bottom of society. Understand? But the scripture says better is the poor that walketh in his uprightness. We have to choose the ways of the Lord. Understand? We have to come back to this Bible, to come back to these scriptures and follow the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave us. Understand? And you can only do this, understand, in the ICP under command in your hand. Because here are the tools to make you understand these laws and these scriptures. You understand? Right? Continue to verse 7, Baba Kushan.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son.
That's right. Understand? The man, right, that keepeth the law, you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, if you choose to keep the laws of the Most High, it says that you would be a wise son. Understand? And this is what the ISPG under commandment generally handle do. Right? In here, you will learn the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. Inside here, he will make you wise. Understand? He will make you a wise son. Right? Continue, Baba Kusha.
But he that is a companion of righteous men.
Right? He that is a companion of riotous men. Understand? Right? Men who outside looking for blood, men who look outside looking for mischief. Right? Go ahead.
Shameth his father.
He does what?
Shameth his father.
He shame his father, man. Understand? He shame his father. Understand? Right? Because you like to keep the company of TD Jakes. Understand? And Creflo Dollar. You understand? You want to continue to rule in the spirit of white supremacy. You love that. Your mind become white. All you're studying is the things out there in the world. Nothing about the Lord. You don't care about the Lord. All you're eating is pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? Right? You don't care. You want to follow all the religions of the world. You understand? Right? You want to have the biggest anchor on your neck. You understand? The biggest cross on your neck and the longest Muslim garb down to your foot. That ain't mean nothing to the Lord. Understand? Right? You want to follow the companion of the so-called oppressor, riotous men. And you say what? He shamed his father. Understand? Go ahead.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
He that by usury and unjust gain increase his substance.
Right? So he that by usury or by interest and unjust gain increaseth his substance. Understand? Right? So many of them, right, increase their riches. Many of the oppressor increase their riches by unjust gain. Understand? By abusing those, right, who they have power over. And that's what you see going on in the society today. Understand? Many of our oppressors has gained their wealth unjustly, right, by oppressing the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Go ahead.
He shall gather.
He shall do what?
He shall gather
Mm-hmm.
for him that will pity the poor.
Right? But all that wealth you gather in, you will gather it for him that pity the poor. Understand? Right? And you know, any ISPP under command generally, and you have a prayer, right? Part of the prayer that says, shake loose the pockets of the rich of Israel. You understand? Right? To give to the school, because the ISPP under command generally, we pity the poor. You understand? Right? Then they will store up that wealth and we will give it to the poor, to the people who really need it. That is what the Lord will do. Understand? Right? So though they may try to oppress others, understand, to gain riches and great substance, in the end, understand, the Lord will give it to the ones that pity the poor, that look after his people. Right? Continue to verse 9, Baba Kusha.
Verse 9. He that turneth away is dead.
He that do what?
He that turneth away is dead.
And he that turneth away is heir. Go ahead.
From hearing the law.
Right? From hearing the law. You understand? Right? You don't want to hear the law. That's what the heathens is. Understand? They don't want to be a part, understand, and hear nothing but the Most High. Understand? That is why the Lord have chosen people, and that is why we go out in the street and speak against the evils that happen in this society. Go ahead.
He that turn away his ear from hearing the Lord, even his prayer shall be abomination.
Even his what?
Even his prayer shall be abomination.
So your Christian pastor, his prayer is an abomination to the Lord. Understand? Right? Because right after, understand? Right? He preach a big sermon, right? And get it to buy a next private jet for him. He gonna eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We don't want to hear nothing about the Lord. Understand? He don't want to keep no feast days of the Lord. Understand? Right? He don't want to hear to stop eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. And he don't want to hear that. Understand? And because he don't want to hear that, he prays, the Lord say he prays will be an abomination to the Lord. Drop down to verse 15, Baba Kusha.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 15. Are the roaring lion and a rambling bear, so is wicked ruler over the poor people.
That's right. You understand? And that's what going on in Trinidad society today. You understand? Watch how the leaders ruling. The talking with the one, the doing with the one, the backing at who the one. You understand? Right? If you talk against them, what they're doing, put him in detention. And I think that they say that they reach about 300 and something people in the detention center now under the SOE. You understand? Even a 16-year-old schoolboy under detention, right? Anybody who see anything on social media against the government, detention. That's how it is. You understand? And that is when the oppressor ruling. You understand? They say as a roaring lion or a raging bear, so is the wicked ruler over poor people. You understand? They take advantage of the poor people of the poor. And when they talk about here about the poor people, that is Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are the poor. We are the oppressed in this society. All right. Go down to 16, Bawakisha.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 16. The prince that wanted to understand it is also a great oppressor.
That's right. And understand the reason why that prince or that ruler, right, is the great oppressor is because he lacks the understanding. Understand? Right? He lacks the understanding of the Lord. So he is what? He becomes a great oppressor. Go ahead.
But he that hated covetousness shall prolong his days.
Right? And he that hated covetousness. Let's look up that word for me, please, Baba Kusha. Covetousness. Understand? Right? He that hated covetousness, this man is a man who is going to prolong his days. Understand? And you Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, these are the things we're supposed to be striving for. These are the things we're supposed to be looking to pattern our lives and live after. Understand? And that's how we see it. This is not just about the New Testament. Understand? The Bible is one entire book. Understand? Right? There's no separation between old and new. Understand? There are very important things in the Old Testament that you Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man could apply to your life. There are things that the Lord say for us to do and apply to our life, right? So we wouldn't fall victim to be oppressed in this society, right? Whenever you have it, Baba Kusha, you can do it.
Covetousness is the intent of often wrongful desire to possess something.
Right? So it's the intent, and it's often what kind of desire?
Wrongful desire.
It's a wrong, right? It's a wrongful desire to possess something. Go ahead.
Particularly wealth or items that belong to another person.
That's right. Particularly wealth or items that belong to another person. And that is why when we talk about the so-called white man, right? In slavery, understand? They came to the Americas and took the land from the Native Indians. They kicked them out. Covetousness. You understand? You took another man's land, another man's property. Black people, you kidnap them from their land, strip them of the culture. You understand where I'm from? Right? Right? You watch black people culture and want it so bad that they try to strip him from it to take it. You understand where I'm from? To try to take the identity. You understand? Everything about the black man, you try to strip him. You understand? And that is why they will face the punishment and that they have that judgment from the Lord. That's why they will face that judgment from the Lord. You understand where I'm from? Right? What's every nation? That your oil, you're coming for it. You understand? Covetousness. You want that wealth from another man. You understand? You don't want to buy or trade for it. You're coming to take it. Right? Just like you do with Venezuela. Right? So you're going to cause the same thing to do with what? Iran. You understand? And then you're going to move to another place as time go along. Right? I think that they're speculating that the next place, right, you might go after Iran is Cuba. Understand? Right? Because they already had that agenda lined up. Understand? And their agenda full of covetousness. Understand? They always want something that somebody else has. Understand? The car doesn't make you go on your own. And they make you go on your own, that's too much leverage. Understand? They have to come and to seek out where you have to try to come and take it. And that is why you know that so-called white man spirit, that spirit that the oppressor on you. Understand? Right? And that is one of the fundamental laws in the scriptures. Right? That the black, Hispanic, and the Native Indian man should not be covetous. Right? Right? And then see, and he that hated covetousness, he will prolong it, he will live long. Understand? If you don't trouble your neighbor property, you and your neighbor will live along peacefully. Understand? But if you go in the man place, understand? Right? And we bringing it down just a neighborly example. Right? If you go in the man place, he must put hands on you. Understand? He must get rid of you because you're interfering with his property. Understand? And many people who died, a man get unalive a couple of weeks ago. Right? He was walking in Princeton and a man stabbed him in the chest. Right? And the man stabbed him because he was going around the man girl. You understand where I'm from? Right? That the man wife. You understand? They going around the man, he stabbed him in the chest, he died. You understand? He lost his life. His days wasn't prolonged because now you like covetousness. They go around something that is somebody else doing, some type of property, some item. You understand? And the days end. Understand? So the scripture is telling you as it is. If you want to prolong your days, don't be covetous. Don't watch other people's property with the intent to take it or gain wealth from it. You understand? Whether it be money or items. Right? Right, so you give me Deuteronomy 7:6. So you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, we gotta realize that, right? To the oppressor, we life is nothing. We life, in their eyes is nothing. Understand? And that is why we have to come and seek out the Lord, right? Who will set us on a different path, a path of righteousness and of rightness, a path of loving our own people, loving our own communities, right? This was one of the things here. So I can share this. Right? So I can share this on you. Right? And it says there, the child among four killed as gunmen fire on car in movement. Understand? The place actually becoming extremely lawless, right? And this is just a snippet, right, of what happened, right? So that is the Lady Young and movement. And this it say police were called to the scene of a fatal shooting near movement walkover last night where 4 people, right? 3 adults and a 10-year-old child had been shot and killed. While details remain unclear up till last night, Guardian Media was informed that gunmen opened fire on a car around 7:30 p.m. along the Lady Young Road, Movant, And this happened last night, right? The identities of the victim remained unknown up to press time. A video posted on social media showed one woman screaming for her relatives who were said to be in the vehicle. Meanwhile, there were unconfirmed reports of a shooting in Shagaramas. Initial information indicated that the incident occurred around 8 p.m. Following a boat ride, a male patron was targeted. Investigations into boat shootings are ongoing, right? And all this happened last night, right? So I just showing some clips here. So we will see the kind of things that happening back to back to back in Trinidad, right? And this is because our oppressors, they are the one in rulership. Understand? All these Christian leaders and Christian pastors, that's why these things will happen. Right? I'm gonna share this one here. So you had 4 by 1 being shot last night, right? Look at this one here. All this happened over the weekend, right? You have here 50 bodies of infants dumped at Trinidad graveyard, right? And look at this is the hole. You understand? That small hole, and they're planning to dump 50 bodies inside it, right? I think on 50 babies, right? And they had 6 adults and 6 adults and 50 babies, right? They're just going to dump inside this hole, right? And this is what it say the remains of at least 50 infants and 6 adults have been dumped at a graveyard in Trinidad and Tobago, police say. The country's police service, TTPS, said in a statement that the bodies were found in the town of Komoto, about 40 kilometers, 25 miles from the capital Port of Spain, Trinidad, one of the 2 islands forming the Caribbean nation. A preliminary investigation showed that it may be a case of unlawful disposal of unclaimed corpses. It added, it is unclear if the incident is linked to gang violence in the country with one of the largest murder rates in Latin America, right? And this coming from an article in the BBC. I try to tell you how far it reached. You understand? Right? So the one then, if it's gang violence, but really what happened is bodies that was that was in the hospital morgue, right? And whilst there was specific procedure for these bodies to be disposed of, what I started to realize, right, is like that there was disposing these bodies on the side like a racket. So like they're getting paid to dump off these bodies cheaply. So they would throw all these bodies in a hole and bury them for a specific price rather than hold a proper burial for each individual because it would cost the state more. Understand? So now, when they realize that now it turned into investigation. Understand? All these were dead people that were stuck in the morgue and nobody claimed their bodies, or no family member come forward for the bodies, and the state had to bury them. Understand? So now the blame passing now because the funeral home saying it's not them, the hospital saying it's not we, the 2 men saying the funeral home hired them, and going back and forth. You understand? Because they realize then hot water now. You understand? Or they're in trouble. All right? But it's supposed to have a specific procedure, and the state would bury the person if the family never come to claim the body. Right? But in this case here, it looked like they just do an underhand thing and throw almost that 50 and say 56 bodies, and they're gonna bury 56 bodies in a shallow grave, right? To show you how, right? To show you how things has become in Trinidad. Understand? And the higher people pay the money side, and they just throw you in a grave. Understand? Nobody come to claim them bodies. Understand? I just show you the state we reach in Trinidad. Nobody care again, right? Everybody just unconcerned and has become very heartless, right? In this society, and die because this society on a whole, right, has become lawless. Understand? All this happen when the heathen is in authority, when the oppressor is in authority. Understand? When white supremacy has filled the minds of our nation. They don't care what the old people are in. So them is nothing. You can just dump them in a hole. You understand? Right? Look how the ISCPK under command General we had a few deaths. You understand? Brothers, somebody brothers, mother and I see one of the brothers' father died. But look how the ISCPK the street death. You understand where I come from? Right? They would buy all the oils and anoint the body and you know what I mean? Right? Make it get a proper burial, a proper send off. You understand? But under the hands of the hidden, them in care. You understand? There is just a bunch of people that just throw in a hole. You understand? Throw them in a shallow grave in the corner there. And they just turn the back and them gone, them functioning normal. You understand? You would think in a situation like this, right? The hospital, the head and the medical board supposed to come out and say, nah. You understand? We not tolerating that. You understand? But they won't say nothing. Because why? The head of the hospital board is a hidden. You understand? That is just a bunch of people them is poor black people, man. Show them in a hole. You understand? Them ain't worth nothing. Right? And that is the type of oppression. You understand? Even in death, you're being oppressed. You can't get a proper burial. You understand? Your body just being tossed as a carcass on the side of the street. Right? And you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man to wake up and understand. Right? That is why the Lord telling us that we have to come back together as a people, as a nation, as the nation of Israel, as the true Israelites of the Bible. You understand? You black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6 for a You understand? Right? And don't and not allow a situation like that. You understand? With 50 babies, just throw on the side. You understand? Don't mind the die, they deserve a proper burial. Right? Just like we do in the ISUPK under command in John. Right? So you're gonna find it, but give me the Deuteronomy 7 and 6 about
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6. But thou art a holy people.
Right? The Bible says, thou, you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you is that thou. That thou art a holy people, you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you are and holy people, and are unholy people. Go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Right? Unto the Lord thy God. Right? Continue.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
That's right. The Lord chose you, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, to be a special people unto himself. Not to be dumped in a shallow grave in a cemetery in the forest. You understand? Right? He created us to be a special people. Go ahead.
Above all the people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's right. And we were supposed to be a special people above all people on the face of the earth. We were supposed to be the ones in rulership. When you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man, when we are in rulership, you wouldn't get these things up. You understand? You wouldn't find people being dumped in shallow grave. You understand? Right? And the same way we care for the dead, we will even care better for the people ones that are alive. You understand where I come from? Right? We wouldn't be finding people being killed in your sleep. Right? Look at the police woman in the station. She just went to work. Understand? To do she job in the police station. And know what? Somebody come in the police station and strangle she. Right? And when they do realize it's an inside job. Understand? One of your own colleagues, put you that. One of your own colleagues who laughing and talking with you and think, what are you doing later? I think, come and strangle it. That's what happened. Like Christianity. Understand? Them things just happen because of Christianity and white supremacy. Understand? Because in the Christian church, the word does do. Understand? They laugh at it today and tomorrow they're bad talking. Understand? Say all kind of things behind your back. Understand? That Christianity. I sure if you go in the police station and you line them up in the police station, all who is Christian, a whole portion in the police station going to raise it down. Understand? And then the next section, all who is Muslim. And next section, we're not raising now. And they're going down the line, calling all the different religions. All of them is religious people inside. You understand? And yet still strangling one another. Like Christianity. You understand? That is what is the so-called oppressor do to the mind. Understand? Right? We kill one another, and this year is a right, and this year is a response from the Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago here. Right? Look at this. Right? And this will be the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago have to say. It's the PM, right? Short for Prime Minister reacts to the killing of police corporal, but insists no need for curfew. So she's saying we knocking on the police for that. And so imagine a police get killed in the station, and she's saying, nah, we ain't locking down the because currently we're in a state of emergency, but it's a state of emergency without curfew. Right? So, and she's saying, nah, people dying, understand? But we ain't calling no curfew, right? It said nationwide search for 62 guns and ammo stolen from the armory, right? So this one get killed, right? And it reached the briefing that the Prime Minister get, right? It was an internal betrayal, meaning one of her own colleagues killed her in the police station, right? And here it say, and it's the a nationwide search for 62 guns. So the kill she in the station and take 62 guns from the strong room in the station where they're keeping all the guns, right? And they stole 4,000 rounds of ammunition, right? Now tell me, and these were your colleagues that you're going to work with every day, understand? Right? All of them put their hand on the Bible in the Christian church and say that the swear to holy water office. And what they do, they kill one another. You understand? That is because all that is because of Christianity. You understand? Christianity will make you kill one another. You understand? With no remorse. Right? And this is why we tell people come out of the Christian church, come out of the Muslim mosque, come out of Egyptology and Scientology and whatever other religion it is, Rastafarianism, Egypt, right? And whole Egyptology already. Right? That is why we have to come out of these things. You understand? Because these religions will make you do these things because they're not teaching you the right thing. You understand? And make you make this type of decision. Right? We'll continue a little more on this. Right? This is what it say here. It say, right? It says Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa says there is no need for a curfew following the killing of a municipal police officer at the San Fernando City Corporation Municipal Police on Kings Wharf. All right? In a statement yesterday, Prasad said she has been advised that the incident at the station was not an external attack on Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, right, or other national security agencies. Instead, she said it was an internal betrayal within the Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service. She stressed that the TTPS is a separate entity, right, from the TTMPS, right, which is the Trinidad Municipal Police Service, and said the TTPS officers were not involved, right, in the incident. Now, the municipal police, right? That's trying to say that the Trinidad and Tobago police separate from the municipal police, right? The municipal police is that's police within the boundary, right? Within the county. So they'll have like St. Patrick, right? And you have like Victoria and all the rest of counties in Trinidad, right? St. Andrews and whatever, right? So the municipal police, let me say you commit a crime, right, within St. Patrick, and you leave, the municipal police will be unable to arrest you because they leave the county, right? So the regular police now will pursue you over the county, right? So they will deal with all the affairs within that county area. But there is still police. You understand? The powers indifferent. They will still arrest you, they still carry to court, they still get prosecuted. You understand? But when the incident happens, all of a sudden, there is no police. There is a separating unto themselves. That's telling you. And immediately, all municipal police stations get separated from the police force immediately. Understand? And they're going and write the same exam. Understand? Right? And wear the same uniform. right? And you just have a police post, but the police post within the county. Understand? Right? And she's saying here, no, right? The regular police not involved. It's them. Them is a separate thing. So them just kill themselves. Understand? We police we don't kill ourselves. You understand? Right? And that's how crazy this gets. Right? Then she go on to say, in a statement yesterday, Hassan Mr. said she had been advised that the incident at the station was not an external attack on Trinidad and Tobago Police Service or other national security agencies. Instead, she said it was an internal betrayal within Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service. She stressed that the TTPS is a separate entity from the TTMPS, which is the Trinidad Municipal Police Service, and said that TTPS officers were not involved in the incident. The Prime Minister said that the Ministry of Homeland Security and the TTPS will provide support for the Municipal Police Service. San Fernando Mayor Robert Paris and San Fernando City Corporation to investigate the matter and recover the stolen items and bring the situation to a closure. The body of Acting Corporal Anushka Eversley, 42, was discovered at the municipal headquarters, Lady Hills Avenue, San Fernando, around 4:40 a.m. yesterday. Some 62 guns and 4,000 rounds of ammunition were stolen from the station armory. The mother of 3 children, 18, 15, and 7, had been fatally shot in the upper body. Eversley had over 19 years of service, right? Well, this article saying she was fatally shot, but when they actually did the autopsy, then realized she was strangled, right? But she was pierced. They thought she was shot in the neck, but she was actually pierced with some type of sharp object in the neck. So whatever ordeal she had to go through, right? And whatever scrambling through, she ended up getting pierced with that object inside her neck, right? But she died from strangulation when they did the autopsy. So it's showing you the kind of fight she had to put up with before she lost her life in the station, right? And to hear the Prime Minister separate you, understand? Separate you from the police service. That making them know be really oppressed. Understand? All of a sudden, them is not police anymore. And it's saying the Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service. And she said them is a police. Them is a separating unto themselves. That's not crazy. That's not crazy. This place is. And that to show you how oppressed, right? How oppressed this place has become. Right? So you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, understand that when you giving your life, you understand? Right? As a serviceman, you understand? You're risking your life. That is what the leader say it. The leader say it now. You understand? Or always are separating until all this. You understand? That is why that happens. Right? Look at this here. And this is the officer uncle, right? He is very active on social media, right? And I think he was at one time he was one of the hostages in the 1990 coup, right? With Yassin Abubakar that took place in Trinidad, right? I believe he was a hostage, right? His name is Wendell Eversley, right? And he said that the last time something like that happened, right, was the last time something like that happened was in the 1990 coup attempt in Trinidad, right? That he can remember. And that's the way it says, right? It says a relative, right, of murdered police officer Anushka Eversley said yesterday's incident, which left his niece dead in a police station, is an indictment of the state and is a reflection of the current administration's inability to keep the citizenry safe, right? It says social and political activist Wendell Eversley described the murder and subsequent theft of 60 firearms and 4,000 rounds of ammunition as unprecedented and historic. Speaking with reporters at the victim's home in Edinburgh 500, Shogunus, Eversley renewed the call for the Homeland Security Minister, Roger Alexander, and Defense Minister, Wayne Sturge, to be fired. He was highly critical of Alexander, as he said his reactions to various matters of national security were lacking and were not short of a rant. Quoting from David Rudder's Madman rant, Eversley did not spare the cabinet. Our parliament, the highest office of the land, is a fish market, he declared, right? So he showed that the type of people that in rulership, right? He compared them to a fish market, right? He blasted Alexander for his supposedly quick response to the murder of businessman and friend Steve Garney, right? Which was a businessman who get murdered. As he said, a file had landed on the desk of the director of prosecution in a very short order. So this was a businessman who ended up getting murdered, and the file for the case to prosecute the people in the murder was very quick. Understand? The solved the case very quick because he was a businessman. And we saying is now that this is a police officer who the Prime Minister said who belong to a different set of police. Now the wheels are just spinning slow. Understand? In this case, and that's how you know. Understand? We oppress. Understand? For the poor man on the ground, for you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, the wheels are justice, and under the hidden, they're still very slow, and sometimes not at all. Right? And he continued to say, Eversley commented on the Joshua Samaru case. He said the family is yet to receive justice. We have reached a state in this country that who have more corn could feed more fowl, he said, right? And that's actually that slang for saying if you have money, the wheels of justice will turn for you, right? If you don't have, well, too bad, right? Eversley said, blood continued to flow freely, even in the midst of a state of emergency. And referring to the discovery that 56 bodies had been pulled from a grave in Komoto Cemetery on Saturday, he went on, I do not know if Satan take over this land and he have his operatives in parliament. Right? So he basically said that the current administration in parliament, which we know is a hidden government, he said them is the operators of Satan. Right? So it's showing here. Understand? Just like the ICPK under Command General say the white man is the devil the Bible speaks about. You understand where I come from? That oppressor is the same thing. You understand? Same thing with the hidden, because now the oppressor lead them in charge. Understand? And he, imagine he comes to the conclusion in the mind to say, nah, all you have to be the operators of Satan. Understand? To make it know, nah, this here, that real white supremacy. Understand? The fully take on the mindset of the oppressor. Right? He also lashed out at the inter-religious organization, which is the IRO, right? Which is that group of all the religious organizations in Trinidad. Right? So it's saying he also lashed out to the inter-religious organization IRO for its marked silence on what has been happening in the country. Right? He continued, the government say when UNC win, the country win. Right? That was the campaign slogan for the UNC, for the current administration and government, right? But he asks, who is winning right now? Understand? So he asking the question, who winning? Because if all say when all win, everybody win. It's not looking like everybody winning. Understand? Right? It's looking like black people losing very fast. Understand? We way down in the bottom, right? And right when you say the point we make about, he also lashed out at the inter-religious organization, right? Which is all a group that represents all the religious leaders in Trinidad and Tobago, called the IRO, right? And he lashing out at them, right, for its marked silence on what is happening in the country, meaning that they're not saying anything. You understand? All type of murders taking place, crime, rape, you understand? People getting kidnapped, right? A lot of kidnapping taking place in Trinidad right now, right? And the religious leaders silent. They're not saying nothing. And that's why we say the ISUPD under command of Jenny Hanna not affiliated with no religious organization, right? Either here in Trinidad or abroad. You understand? Right? We're not affiliated with any religious organization. That is why we say that, right? Even when we go to our street speaking to any prominent in Port of Spain, we don't speak against these things. You understand? The ISUPK under command of General Hanna is never silent on these issues. Never. You understand? But look, he's saying it here for himself. You understand? Right? He speaking to a reporter in the one of the top newspaper in Trinidad and saying this about the religious organizations in Trinidad. They're not saying nothing. You understand? When the last time you hear the Archbishop come out and say something? You understand? Or the Anglican bishop? You understand? What about the imams? You understand? What about the Hindus have got pundits? What about the pundits? Nobody is saying nothing. No religious leader. You understand? And that's how you know this place truly oppressed. You understand? Right? And many of our people, right, are in these religious organizations, are following these denominations. And your leaders not speaking out against it. So when it happened to you, black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, you know what happened? Nobody going to speak about it. Nobody going to say nothing. Nobody is going to cause an uproar. Nobody coming against the government. You understand? Everybody doing what? Remaining in silence. You understand? And this is what this situation happened to reach on his doorstep. So now he realizing nobody from this organization not helping. You understand? Right? Them is probably Christian. You understand? Or whatever religion they have. And now realizing nobody here is not helping. And we now facing this calamity. You understand? And this is why you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man better realize this land, you understand? Right? We can't allow the heathens to rule this land. You understand? We can't allow the heathens to rule us. You understand? That is why it's just as we read before, gather yourself together, black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. We had to gather ourselves together. We have to come, right? Right? And start to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments with our people, with our nation. You understand? We have to start to regain our identity, who we are. As the scripture says, the Lord's chosen people, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. You understand? We are the Lord's chosen people. We have to come back and start to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Right? Because this man saying here, hey, it no help. These religious leaders silent. Understand? And some of them on different topics, right? They had the biggest mouth. Understand? They're talking the most. And on serious topics where people getting murdered and killed every day, they have nothing to say. They have nothing to charge the government. Understand? Nobody's speaking against what's going on in the society. Right? And that's showing you the position the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man has find ourselves. And the ISUPK has been saying this from the beginning. You understand? That these religious organizations is not for you, black man. They continue to oppress you in the system. You understand? Right? They continue to bring hardship on the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. You understand? Until just recently, they had I would try to publish this, right, on the social media. It had a nice documentary on Al Jazeera, right? After all these years talking about slavery and showing you how sugar, right, in the slave trade, because we know under slavery it had different crops, right, that have forced black people to into slavery to work for free and beat them and kill them and rape them and all kind of thing to work on these plantations, right? And some of the plantations planted sugar, right? Some planted cocoa, some planted cotton, some planted tobacco, right? But this documentary was showing how sugar fuel our worldwide economy. And when I say our worldwide economy, the British economy, specifically the British and the American economy, right? How sugar from slavery supplied these two nations to bring them into first world status. You understand? And even in first world status, they still use the same method to oppress black people today. You understand? Even in Haiti and Santo Domingo. You understand? And that was, I think it was just a couple days, like 4 or 5 days ago. Imagine Al Jazeera had recently released a documentary to show how wicked, understand, white supremacy is. Understand? Right? And we have to realize that this these hidden nations don't care about the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. They don't care. Understand? Right? To them, we is just numbers on a chart. Understand? Right? And whatever happen. Understand? Whoever die. Understand? And who live. And if you're living, they're trying their best to bring that oppression on you. Right? So before we close up of that share, you'll give back the Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6. Right? You black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, right?
Deuteronomy chapter 7 and 6.
Go ahead.
But thou art an holy people.
Right? So the Lord said he made the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man to be a holy people, right? A separate people. Go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Unto the Lord thy God. So we are the Lord's portion. You black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, the Lord made you to be his portion on the face of the earth, right? Go ahead.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right? And he chose us to be a special people unto himself. He gave us a special task, a special job to do. And I stand for him. Go ahead.
Above all the people that are called the face of the earth.
Above all the people. You understand? We are the ones supposed to be in rulership. When we are in rulership, you wouldn't find these things happening. You understand where I'm coming from? You wouldn't find these injustices happening on the face of the earth. You understand? Now you're going to have correct judgments. Understand? And correct punishments on the face of the earth. Right? And nobody will be abused. Understand? Right? Not to go on too long, but just the other day, a man won a case in Trinidad court, right? Where the police beat him with a cricket bat, right? It was on the Trinidad and Tobago Express newspaper, right? The police beat him with a cricket bat, and he had the ability to take the case to court, and he took it to court and he won. Imagine that. The judge had to agree with him that the police abused him by beating him with a cricket bat, right? And he had to be compensated. I forget how much money, but he got a big lump sum of money, right? And now, even when he get a big lump sum of money, now he had to go in hiding because, you understand where I'm from? The police are up against. You understand where I'm from? Right? And the two men was charged and arrested, right? And I think they get sentenced to the prison yet, right? And the man was given a lump sum of money, but it's showing you how oppressive, understand, these heathens are, understand, right? They took the man to the police station, accused him of a crime, and he wasn't even guilty of the crime, right? And they took him to the crime, and because he did not want to admit to whatever crime they was charged him with, they beat him with a cricket bat, you understand? To try to get him to submit, right? To say that he committed a crime that he did not commit, you understand? And the judge found the two officers to be guilty, right, of beating this man with a cricket bat. So that is to show you the type of society we live in. And when you look around, a lot of these things, since this hidden government took office, right, since these oppressors took office, you find that a lot of these things are now happening in society, right? And just as the woman's uncle was pointing out, the religious leaders not saying anything. You understand? They're not doing anything, right? Because they are in silence. They are on their mind is filled with with the mindset of the oppressor, filled with white supremacy. You understand? And you'll just give me this scripture here and we will close off, right? Give me Ecclesiastes 4 and verse 5. And we will close up after this one. Right? So you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, we is not to fight one another. Understand? The Lord told us to do what? Gather ourselves together. We can't make white supremacy, right? And this white supremacist mindset, right? And these religions separate us. Understand? The Lord, when you look in the Bible, you don't know Rastafarianism. Understand? I know Pentecostal and Egyptology and Baptist and all these different things inside it. Understand? Right? The Lord didn't give us all these different religious denominations and Christianity and Islam. He didn't give us all that. Understand? Right? But he did say that we should come together and keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Right? So remember Ecclesiastes 4 and verse 5.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 5. Fool holdeth his hands together.
Right? They say the fool holdeth his hands together
and eateth his own flesh.
And eateth his own flesh. Right? And this is what the religious leaders have been doing to the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man year in, year out. Understand? They are preying on their own people. Understand? All these leaders in government, understand? So we're talking about Alexander and Wayne Stage, and they're not doing nothing. They're saying their own people, understand, being oppressed by the heathen. And you know what they're doing? Nobody is saying nothing. Nobody is saying different. Understand? So you know what? They eat the arm of their own flesh. They meaning the oppress the own people. You understand where I come from? Right? They cause us to remain in this hellish condition that we are in. You understand? Tonight, you need ISCP on the command in General Hannah is telling you, you black man, you Hispanic man, and you Native Indian man, come out of the Christian church, come out of these religions. See, the ISCPK is not affiliated with any religious organization. You understand? We have to start to do exactly what the scriptures tell. Understand? Right? The Bible wasn't written by no white man. Understand? In fact, inside the Bible, here about a damning prophecy against the so-called white man or the so-called Caucasian man that he don't want you to see. That's why they tell you don't read the Old Testament. He don't want you to see that part. You understand where I come from? Right? But according to the Bible, according to the scripture says we are a holy people and we are the Lord's portion. We are the true Jews according to the Bible. So we are the Lego these religions. Lego Rastafarianism, Lego Egyptology, Lego Christianity, Lego Islam, understand? And Lego all these new denominations and come back to serving the Lord, right? As the scripture say, right? In spirit and in truth. Understand? We are to come back to serving the Lord the way He commanded us to do it. Right? And the IRCPK under commanding generally and always be. Is the place, this is the tool to access and to learn his laws, statutes, and commandments so that we can gather ourselves together, right? As one people, right, under our King Yahweh. And with that, we'll pass the class over to Priest and Officer Shah. Yeah.
Security announcement. We are the ISP out of 150 columns under command in General. No rules for brothers and sisters, but the new brothers and sisters come to the school that are also for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to set themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a peculiar person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to another brother or sister. There is another 6 months which a brother or sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. tithe, which is the commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Means 10 to 3 accounts of my share. 10% of every penny in the piece of God give to the Treasury Department for teacher fees fund. Free will offering for priests, non-mandatory, whatever amount you like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation.
So this is many piece of first fruits.
That will be the Feast of First Fruit that start from the Sunday the 12th and the Feast of 50 days, right? You can find this in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 10 to 22. You might have come on that what you have to check out social media such as ISPK, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for statements and material. If your brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then you start wearing more black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, like headphones, black. That we say, imagine. You want to say Lord's Prayer in Hebrew? Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. For that. Yeah. Yehovah. Zaka. Aisha. Aratida. Wa. Yeah. Shemayim. The wall. Akam. Wam. Salak Walking over. Asalak Noah. Walking over. Malaa. Abiyanoa. Asayawon. Ball. Shine. Young. Right. Kaya. Laka. Malakwa. Tapara. Aman.
What we said in English was, "Oh Father, God in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it."
So, let's get a teacher one quiz group to Imagine Sabat. Imagine. Rock. You heard us to say Rakata.
How about you shine the tongue?
Yeah, but let's turn them quiz Sutherland get that one quiz group to Imagine Sabat. Imagine. Rock.
How about you my tongue, but some of your shine?